नमस्ते सम्पूर्ण विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू। नयाँ सेसन सँगसँगै नयाँ जाँगर उत्साह उमङ्ग बोकेर स्कुल जानुहुन्थ्यो। तपाईहरु नयाँ नयाँ साथीहरू बनाउनुहुन्थ्यो, शिक्षकहरूसँग नयाँ नयाँ कुराहरू सिक्नुहुन्थ्यो। तर त्यो सबै कोभिड-19 को प्रभाव सँगसँगै घरमै सीमित रह्यो। यसैलाई मध्यनजर गर्दै निजी तथा आवासीय विद्यालय अर्गनाइजेसन प्याप्सन केन्द्रीय सचिवालयको निर्णयलाई आत्मसात गर्दै पालिका प्याप्सन, जिल्ला प्याप्सन र प्रदेशले समेत सहयोग गर्नुभएकोमा यहाँहरूलाई हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। त्यसैले विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई पढ्नबाट वञ्चित नहोस् भन्ने उद्देश्यले प्याप्सनले प्याप्सन दूरशिक्षा कार्यक्रम आयोजना गरेको हो र टिभी टुडे र प्याप्सनको संयुक्त प्रयासमा यो कार्यक्रम यहाँहरू माझ हामीले पस्केका छौं र आज टिभी टुडेको सेट अगाडि बस्नुभएका तमाम विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, अभिभावकज्यूहरू, स्कुलका शिक्षक शिक्षिकाहरू सम्पूर्णलाई अबको क्लासमा हार्दिक स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु।
Namaste, my dear students. I would like to warmly welcome to all the students, those who are staying in front of your TV set today for your class. Today, I am going to deal with the topic telling times. Can you guess which class I am going through today? It's grade 3. Grade 3 students, today you will be remaining with me for 25 minutes to talk about time. Now, you may be thinking about why we are reading time in English instead of mathematics. In mathematics, you have learned a lot, but in English, we learned it to express what time is it or what time can we prefer to. Children, today our topic basically focus on telling times, and we will enjoy lots of activities for today to make our concept clear about how do we tell time and about the timing. And now, children, you may obviously know that how can we get the time. In the morning when we wake up, we see some kinds of tools to see the time. In the evening, same, we see the tools to take the time. And even during the noon, to see what time is it, we need a single tool. Do you know what is it? Now let me provide you a hint. It has 3 hands. 1, 2, 3. 3 hands are there, and there are 12 different numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different numbers are there, and it has 3 hands. Now, can you tell me what is it? Yes, it's clock, or sometimes we also say it watch. Watch and clock are the tools to see the time, to know the time. What time is it? What is an hour? What is a minute? And in seconds. That is only found when we see the watch or clock. Now children, I just want to get enjoyed with you before starting all the different activities. So let's go for chanting. So many of you may be familiar with this chant or this rhymes, but also we will enjoy for today relating with our topic for the day. Are you ready? Okay, then now you just listen to me, and then after you can repeat it. You can recite the chant, and we will enjoy. Is it okay for you? Okay. So, hickory dickory dock, hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran to the clock. The mouse ran to the clock. The clock struck 1. The clock struck 1. The mouse ran down. The clock struck 1. The mouse ran down. Okay. Once again we will repeat it, children. Hickory dickory dock. Hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran to the clock. The mouse ran to the clock. The clock rang once. The clock rang once. The mouse ran down. The mouse ran down. Very good, children. Every one of you can practice this in your topic telling times. Or sometimes instead of the clock struck 1, you can go for finding the number 2, so that you will be familiar with the numbers 2. And beside that, you can go for 3. The clock struck 2. The clock struck 3. So that you will be familiar with the number and about the time too. Is it fine? Okay. Now let me move on to the next activities, where I want to show you to all one model of clock. Do you want to see it? Please remember, how does the clock look like? Okay, ready, children? I have a clock in my hand. See. Now firstly, as per the information given to you in the beginning, I want to provide the important information of clock. If you have remembered, I have said you there are 3 hands. But in some clocks, we may get 2 hands only, which are very important. Ready? Okay. So, firstly you see in my clock, there are just 2 hands. The first one, shorter hand is there. The next one, longer hand is there. Along with it, we also go for practicing the vocabulary exercises there with this correct pronunciation of words. So please remember, when we get this shorter hand and longer hand, the shorter hand is called hour hands. Please remember, children, the shorter hand in the clock is called hour hand. And what do we call for the next longer hand? Can you guess? Yes, this is the longer hand which we have inside the clock is called minute hand. Once again, please remember and repeat it while pronouncing the word. It's hour hand and minute hand. So there are generally 2 hands in the clock. But remember, children, in some clocks or in some watches, we do get another one more hand. It's very tiny, that is, it's very thin, rather than in comparison to hour hand and minute hand, which also is called second hand. But while counting the time, while telling the time, or while identifying the time, we just get minute hand and hour hand as the important part. Beside that, children, you also have to go to these all the numbers. See how many numbers are there? In the middle of this is clock. We have 12, 6, 9 and 3. But along with that, other different numbers also go together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, even 11 and 12. There are 12 different numbers. These 12 different numbers indicates the half part of the day. But we have heard there are 24 hours in a day. Then why do we get 12 hours in this clock, beside, what we have to realize is this 12 hours half day, and then repeatedly when the clock moves another 12 hours, one day will be completed. So there are 12 numbers. Now beside that, the children, you might have seen all the different linings there. The black dots are there, which also are counted as the differences of each number. If we have to go from 1 to 2, we have to cross 5 different dots. The differences of each number will be 5. Is it fine, dear children? Okay, then now how can we get or how can we know the time of the day or the night from this clock? Okay, now let me go to finding the o'clock at first. How do we identify the time? So, the dear children, we already have informed you that this minute hand and this hour hands are important to know the time. Now, dear children, if I keep this hour hand here in minute hand here in 12, and if the hour hand is also in 12, that is complete hour. It's called 12 o'clock. It's called 12 o'clock. You can repeat it by speaking. It's 12 o'clock. But beside that, if the minute hand remains same as it is, but if we take this hour hand in 9, then dear children, what time is it? When the minute hand is in 12 and the hour hand is in the another number, what do we call it? We do not count it as 12 o'clock, but beside we just get it as 9 o'clock. If the minute hand is in 12 and if an hour hand is in 9, then we call it 9 o'clock. In the similar way, if we keep this hour hand in 8 and minute hand in 12, then it also is called 8 o'clock. It's called 8 o'clock. In the similar way, if an hour hand goes to 7 and minute hand is in 12, it calls 7 o'clock. In the similar way, you can go to other different numbers, keeping an hour hand in those numbers and minute hand is in 12, then we call along with the similar number 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So, it goes like this. But beside that, children, if we have the different concept here, for example, if the minute hand goes to 6, then what do we call for this? For example, if we get minute hand is in 6 and hour hand is in the middle of 10 and 11. Remember, children, the minute hand is in 6 and hour hand is in the middle of 10 and 11. Then what do we call for it? It's called 10:30. Did you get it? Okay, it's 10:30. In the similar way, if we keep minute hand in the same position of 6 and our hand goes to the middle of 12 and 1, then what do we call for it, children? It's called 12:30. Remember it, the concept of minute hand in 6 gives the sense of half past. Is it fine to you all? In the similar way, you can practice getting the clock at your home when an hour hand goes to the middle of 1 and 2, the minute hand remains in the position of 6, then it's called 1:30. When it goes to the middle of 2 and 3, it calls 2:30. When an hour hand goes to the middle of 3 and 4 and the minute hand goes to 6, then it's called 3:30. So in the similar way you can go to. So that is the next concept of half past. Now, the dear children, we are going for the next concept. Beside o'clock and half past, we also can go for the next concept, that is quarter past. Can you remember quarter past? Q-U-A-R-T-E-R, quarter, P-A-S-T, quarter past. Okay? So, dear children, when the minute hand is in 3 and an hour hand is nearer to 1, then what do we call for it? It's called 1:30. Is it? No, it's 1:15. Don't be confused with this concept of minute hand at 3 and hour hand in the different position. It's 3:15. Is it? No, it's 1:15. Now, dear children, in the similar way you can go to other different numbers. So now let me go to the next concept of quarter to. If we tell quarter to, that means it's 15 minutes left to complete an hour. So when I keep the minute hand in 9 and hour hand in 2, then what do we call for it? It's called quarter to 2. It means it's 15 minutes left to be 2 o'clock. So dear children, you can practice even quarter to for the different hour hands and minute hand in the same way which you have available at home. Now, I just want to go to the next concept, the concept of minutes and hour once again with a different time. So, what do we say there is, like, if the minute hand is in 7, remember children, if the minute hand is in 7 and just nearer to 1, if we have our hand, then what do we call for it? Do you have any guesses? What do we call for it? It's called 35 minutes past 2. 35 minutes past 12 o'clock. 12:35 we call. If it is digital, we call 12:35, but if it has to go through the language, then we call 35 minutes past 12. Is it fine, dear children? Okay, now let me go to some more example. Beside this, also I have one more thing to show you, that is just for guessing. I have made a model of clock in this paper, and then now children, you have to guess. The minute hand, the longer hand is in 9 and an hour hand goes nearer to 1. So what's the time for it? Okay, dear children, it's 1:45. Is it all right? It's 1:45. Is it fine, dear children? It's 1:45. Let me write over here 1:45. 1. So, in the same way, we have another number, another model of clock with another number. It's here, an hour hand is in the middle of 3 and 4 and minute hand is in 6. Just before we have taken the concept there when the minute hand is in 6 and hour hand is in the middle of two different numbers. It's called half past. So here children, if we get the number in the middle, hour hand in the middle of 3 and 4 and minute hand is in 6, it's called half past 3. So let me write over here, how do we design half past 3? It's HALF, half past 3. Did you get? Okay, now dear children, some more activities we will try to do for it. It's here, next one. Today we have mentioned or we have introduced some of the words so many times while expressing the time in a clock or while expressing the time in our words. We have some of the words repeatedly mentioned in our classroom. So what are they? Let me remind children. It's the first word is there, clock. You can spell and remember, speak the same word. It's clock. And now you can spell the word there. It's CLOCK, clock. Then the next word is there, that is also repeatedly mentioned for so many times. It's PAST, past. Now the dear children, it's also the next word. There are two different hands in a clock. The shorter hand is called an hour hand. It's called hour hand. So we have mentioned this word repeatedly while talking about time. HOUR, hour. The next word was there. Beside that, another word is also mentioned so many times, and in a clock, if you have seen, the longer hand is called minute hand. It's the spelling of it is MINUTES, minutes. Now the next one, very frequently we have used this word. It's second. SECOND, second. Then the next word, it is used for quarter past, 15 minutes gone or 15 minutes left, quarter to. This is the spelling you can spell, and if you have stationery materials in front of you, you can write this as well. It's quarter, QUARTER, quarter. So dear children, these are the concepts that we have learned today in our class. How do we tell the time? Hope you might have understood so many things from here. And now I just want to assign you something to do at home after the completion of this class today. Do you want to do it? Do you want to enjoy your work? Do you want to enjoy your assignment? Okay, dear children. So, what you can do is, you can just practice making some clocks in your notebook, and please try to mention the time written by you or made by you in the clock. Hope you all will do it. And now for today, I just want to wrap up the class reviewing today's session. Firstly, today under the title we have got one riddle. The complete word of that riddle is clock, and beside that we went for reciting the chant. Then after, we saw a model clock to know the time of the day, and even we enjoyed the vocabulary sections for today. So, hope you have learned a lot in today's class, and thank you so much for staying cool and calm there during this session. Hope to see you very soon. Thank you so much.